What's up, YouTube? This is Shaw Boys 2324, aka Henry Scarborough Jr. Sorry for the 7th month absence, but had some stuff to do. But now I'm back, and some more of the coming videos is about to happen. So first is the Ultimate Collection Goldberg DVD, 3-disc set. There's Goldberg ready to do a spear. Says Goldberg 3-disc set. The Ultimate Collection says he exploded onto the scene faster than anyone in the history of sports entertainment, decimating opponents in under 2 minutes, using an unstoppable combination of brute force and athleticism. With silent furiosity, he amassed a winning streak of 173-0 and became World Heavyweight Champion in both WCW and WWE, pausing only to ask who's next. Now, for the first time ever, WWE presents Goldberg: The Ultimate Collection. Relive all the greatest moments from his area of dominance, including Goldberg's debut with Hugh Morris, Goldberg's win over Jesus Christ, Hollywood Hulk Hogan for the first World Heavyweight Championship, the controversial taser incident that ended the streak, Goldberg's first and last matches in WWE, epic battles against top WCW and WWE stars such as Kevin Nash, Sting, Ric Flair, Scott Hall, The Giant, aka Big Show, The Rock, and Triple H, and more. This DVD is 7 hours long. There's Goldberg holding the WCW US title, and Goldberg doing a jackhammer on Hollywood Hulk Hogan. Right on the inside, and Goldberg on again. See, like before he gets an entrance, see his pyro. See the 3 discs. I don't have a sheet, but the thing is on the back. So let's get into it. It says exploding onto the scene, where it talks about his debut, his WCW debut in 1997. His first match was against Hugh Morris. He won it in very quick manner. Hugh Morris, aka Bill DeMott, he's a NXT trainer. He's a WWE NXT trainer. Basically, what they talking about is like Hugh Morris at the time was the only person to put him over right, and make sure he did to get his character over. This following week, Goldberg versus the Barbarian. This is where Gene Oakland, after the match, basically saying like, who the heck is this guy? Like, he didn't say. Goldberg was so unique that he didn't even say a word. Like, he didn't talk or nothing. He just get in the ring, do what he gotta do, and leave. That's all he did. Then his first Starrcade, Goldberg versus Stephen McMichael. Yeah, it's a great match. Nitro, April 20th, 1998, Goldberg versus Raven in the United States Championship match. This is where he first captured his United States Championship. The most funniest moment in this match was Raven was trying to leave, and the fans didn't want him to leave at all. They literally grabbed him and threw him back into the ring. I'm not even over exaggerating. That's how it really happened. The next chapter, setting his sights on the bigger prize. Basically, the story behind this was, I believe, Brother Love or J.J. Dillon had announced on Thunder that Goldberg versus Hulk Hogan for the World Heavyweight Championship on Nitro in the Georgia Dome. And Goldberg basically talked about how this would, like, they drew like 60-something thousand people in the Georgia Dome. Imagine if they had like a week. Like, imagine this was a pay-per-view. They would make a lot of money. But WCW made a bad mistake. All they care about is ratings and nothing else. Pay-per-views didn't even matter. Um, but he didn't have. But the thing is that he had to face Scott Hall to get the Hulk Hogan. He beat. That's for Nitro, July 6, 1998, where he faced on Goldberg. Where he faced Scott Hall. It was great. It was a good match. Not gonna lie, he put him over right. Goldberg versus Hollywood Hulk Hogan for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. It's great. It was a great short match. It was just great. Great to see Hulk Hogan finally lost the title. And then the following pay-per-view, which is Bash at the Beach, July 12th, 1998, Goldberg vs. Kurt Hennig, a.k.a. Mr. Perfect, for the WCW Championship. This match was kind of weird because he faced Hulk Hogan on Nitro, and then on pay-per-view he faced Kurt Hennig. That's kind of retarded, isn't it? Shouldn't be like it shouldn't be backwards. Like Kurt Hennig should have faced him at that Nitro at the Go Home show, and then face Hulk Hogan for the WCW title. It's retarded. Kurt Hennig, by the way, was in the NWO during that time. Goldberg versus Sting for the World Heavyweight Championship. This was all right. I don't think Goldberg pinned Sting, not yet though. I think this was like interference and stuff like that. I'm not really sure. Goldberg versus Diamond Dallas Page for the World Heavyweight Championship at Halloween Havoc, October 25th, 1998. This match was good. This was a good match, but a lot of people didn't get to see this match. Good God, it was a great match. I'm not gonna lie, one of the best Goldberg matches ever. DDP, man, he's a good worker. I'm not gonna lie, man. He was about to put him in that cutter, or like he's about to suplex him. Goldberg counter into a jackhammer, 1, 2, 3. Man, that was awesome. Goldberg versus the Giant, okay, Big Show on Nitro. Basically, this match was just a match that see if Goldberg could pick up the Giant, and he did. And this was very short, and it needed to be. The road to Starrcade, basically, Kevin Nash at the time I think he was the booker or something like that. I'm not really sure, but he wanted Goldberg and a streak. So basically, it was no disqualification match for the WCW title. This was when sadly Goldberg's streak had ended. So, my opinion, I don't think the Goldberg streak should have ended. My opinion. Especially Kevin Nash. Behind this too, the face of WCW, basically, Goldberg. It was basically Goldberg and Sting, Ric Flair and Hogan were the faces of WCW, but Goldberg was the hottest commodity at that time. He was even as hot as Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's how hot Goldberg was. Goldberg versus Ric Flair. I think this was an interference matches as well. I don't think that Ric Flair had beat him clean or something like that. I'm not sure. That was on March 8th, 1999. Yep. And then the following month, it was Fatal 4-Way for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. Goldberg versus Hulk Hogan versus Ric Flair versus Diamond Dallas Page. And the NWO had Kevin Nash had interfered in this match, so I think that Ric Flair still had the championship at the time. Then you get the Spring Stampede, April 11, 1999. Goldberg versus Kevin Nash. This was a rematch from Starrcade 98. It was a good match. It was a spot, I think. I don't know if it was in this match or the first match that they had, where Goldberg went for the spear. Kevin Nash leapfrog. I think he speared the referee or something like that. And yeah, Goldberg got his revenge on Kevin Nash for ending the streak. Fall Brawl, September 12th, 1999. Goldberg versus Diamond Dallas Page. This was a good match as well. DDP was a prick at that time. At the time, like, I think he was playing as a heel, something like that. Overall, it's a good match. Halloween Havoc, October 24th, 1999. Goldberg versus Sid Vicious, or just Sid, for the United States Championship. This was a good match. Yeah, it was great. It was a good match. I'm not gonna lie. Goldberg won championship. 2 matches in one night. Basically, Sting at the time was supposed to face Hulk Hogan at Halloween Havoc, but Hulk Hogan laid down for 1, 2, 3, and Sting didn't like that. So what happened was he made an open challenge to anybody in the locker room, and Goldberg answered the challenge. And Goldberg versus Sting beat him in a short match, and that's it. That's about it. Mayhem, I believe it says November 21st, 1999. Goldberg versus Sid, and I Quit match. Sid didn't even quit. He was basically bloodied, and referee he just stopped the match. Fall Brawl, September 17th, 2000. Goldberg versus Scott Steiner. In this match, man, it was so many interferences in this match. I'm not even gonna lie, man. It's so many interferences. Oh my god. Scott Steiner eventually he won the match. Took him long enough to win, but well, yeah, pretty much because Goldberg matches after the streak, basically, his matches weren't 2 minutes anymore. It was more like 10, 15 minutes, something like that. Goldberg versus Chronic, Halloween Havoc, October 29, 2000, 2-on-1 handicap match. I believe Goldberg won this match. Yeah, Goldberg won this match because Chronic sucks. Was very good team back then, especially when they came to WWE, they still sucked. A new streak, basically, Goldberg, Vince Russo said that, yes, Vince Russo, the booker at the time, said that the next time he loses a match, his career is over. Goldberg versus Dwayne Bruce versus Lex Luger and Buff Bagwell. Dwayne Bruce he had trained Goldberg, so this is actually ironic that him and Goldberg, face off. It was a no disqualification match. This was, I believe, his last match in WCW before he took some time off and eventually debuted in WWE. All right. Making his way to WWE, basically on a 2-year hiatus, he finally signed a contract to WWE. And he made his debut the night after WrestleMania 19, and during The Rock's appreciation night, and he speared The Rock. Back then they had a match, Backlash, April 27th, 2003. Goldberg, I believe, was ring rusted at the time because he ain't had a match since 2001. So basically, Rock had to try and get him over, and he did. Goldberg won this match. Goldberg versus Christian. Christian cut a promo saying that the people's chair that Goldberg got hit by The Rock. Basically, it's called People's Chair now. Steel cage. This is a brutal match. I felt bad for Christian because, oh man. Bad Blood, June 15, 2003. Goldberg versus Chris Jericho. This was a good match. I recommend seeing it. I recommend seeing this match. It's so great. I can't even explain it. SummerSlam, August 24th, 2003. Goldberg versus Triple H versus Randy Orton versus Shawn Michaels versus Kevin Nash versus Chris Jericho. Elimination Chamber match for the World Heavyweight Championship. Goldberg, to me, should have won this match and get the World Heavyweight Championship. But nope. Triple H at the time, he was injured. And perfect time for Goldberg to get the championship. But no, Triple H, I don't believe that Triple H buried Goldberg, to be honest with you. I mean, he buried some people, but he didn't bury Goldberg. I think that was WWE's fault on them. It's not Triple H. Another shot at the title, basically the following month, Goldberg versus Triple H. The stipulation was that Triple H, if the Triple H would lose by counter or disqualification, Goldberg would win. But if Goldberg lost, his career is over. He's done. He would be done with wrestling. Goldberg won. Raw, October 6, 2003, Goldberg versus Mark Henry. Yeah. This was also a good match. Basically, at the time, Goldberg was put on a bounty, and basically, I believe, Batista in the next match shattered his ankle, but and Goldberg came back, beat up Batista, 1, 2, 3, spear. All right, Survivor Series, November 18th, 2003, Goldberg versus Triple H. Goldberg has shattered ankle. He basically took on it was basically a 4-on-1 handicap match, and Goldberg still won. He beat them. So Goldberg, that's how real Goldberg is. Goldberg's too real. WrestleMania 20, March 14th, 2004. This was Goldberg's last match. It was, and also Brock Lesnar at the time. It was his last match before he went to football. This match is the worst WrestleMania match ever. I mean, it took like 10 minutes for them to start fighting. That's how bad it was. This was I believe this was probably at the time the most overhyped match. And it didn't live up to the hype. I mean, Jesus Christ. This is a dream match. Like, how in the world this was not a good match? Like, how? Like, I mean, they both was out of the door, but still, man. Like, you should care about the fans, man, not yourselves. And 30 minutes on that. And then at the end it says who's next. So I don't know who's next in Goldberg's eyes, but I believe if Goldberg was to come back, he's a future Hall of Famer, in my opinion. Goldberg is, in my opinion, like one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Like, just on his character alone. WWE tried to recreate that with Ryback, failed miserably. But Goldberg and WCW had a good run until the end of the streak, which is so stupid. WWE's run. I wish that Goldberg stayed in WWE, but they used it to. I mean, at least he got a world title in his run. At least, I mean, you can't fault him for that. So, with that being said, I believe that the person that's next is probably Ryback, because he's getting the Goldberg chants every single night, and Goldberg to me is future Hall of Famer in my opinion. Let me know in the comments of what you think about this DVD. Is it good or bad? I believe this is a good DVD. In my opinion, I recommend it if you can find it in a store, in like local Walmart or whatever. And so remember to rate, comment, subscribe, and I'm out. Peace.